Hi guys, and welcome to the AXR GTWEC League Season 2 Round 6. Race 1, 4 hours of Nürburgring in the Group 3 cars, and that was so cheesy. I didn't know how to start, sorry. It was a little bit too much. So yes, the AXR group, the AequepaX Racing group, are hosting an excellent season of GT World Endurance Championship Racing in the Group 3 cars. I have a championship table, and it looks like they're resetting the lobby just to shake things up. Don't forget, while you're waiting for the reset, hit like and subscribe. You know, all the other stuff that YouTube geeks tell you to do. Do what they tell you, because they know how they're doing it. And obviously they get paid. And I want to get paid, bruv. So hit like, subscribe, tickle my balls, do something, man. Give me the money. Here we are for round 6, and we're at the Nürburgring. Nürburgring. It's the Nürburgring GP. I will try my best this evening to pronounce Nürburgring correctly, because it's so easy to say Nürburgring. So we'll try not to do that. And at the moment the car's just sitting in the pit lane, pondering life and everything in it. Should we do a bit of pondering of life and everything in it? What do we think? Getting up some of those that would help. So I'm not sure if this is qualified or not, but let's take this moment to have a look at the table. It's group racing this evening. Whoo, mama. So you'll be obviously racing for one of the AequepaX Racing teams. At the top of the table we have Stossilla Racing on 220 points, but I think at Discord I read they're unable to attend the first race or even the whole round. So Stossilla Racing may be taking a step back this round. We will see. They know it's the Nürburgring, sorry. Frequencies in the chat for Stossilla Race, I believe, say good luck to everyone. Too bad we can't race today. Well, it gives them a chance to catch up, because in second place we have Clockwork Apex on 147 points. Now, I repeat, Stossilla Racing was on 220 points, so the gap is a chasm. Scuderia Chiara in third place on 138 points, with Clockwork Vertex on 133 points in fourth place. Tight stuff there. AXR are in fifth place with 130 points, with Garage 96 right up their butts on 99 points. Shut up, Alexa. No one asked you. Speedbots and Motorsport are on 98 points. That's only 1 point behind Garage 96, so tight. And AequepaX Racing on 48.5 points, as they took a chunk of points out to change car, with full throttle racing behind them on 42 points. THG RTF are on 31 points, with Chiara Corsa on 29.5 points. And obviously those lower ones have swapped cars and or haven't partaken in all of the rounds. Now, this is strange. I don't know if we're having a minute's silence. Is someone important level up? There is nothing in Discord saying anything that I should be stumm. But we're all sat in the pits at the moment, waiting for an epiphany to come along. The rain, maybe. I think it can rain at Germane, at the Nürburgring. It's, right next to this track, there's a really cool track we could have had a lovely 4-hour race at. Just saying is all. Hashtag just saying. It's just, I think Stossilla Racing would have made the effort if we were on the other track, right next to this track, that has character, has flaws, has balls. Oh, lovely little sip of the warm beverage there. What's going on? Come on, it's been 4 minutes we've been sat here. Is this some sort of joke on the commentator? Or, hey? What's the crack? So, with no one going round the track, I have to look at their liveries to know what cars they drive. Oh, they're waiting for rain. Alas, it looks like there will be no rain. That sky looks foolproof. If ELO were out here, they'd be banging out their song. Wife's out tonight, so I can vape. And then I'll be choking. No, it's good. Hang on, let me...
I'm hoping to see some rain.
I think that's done it. Maybe. Come on, guys, someone go out. Hey, yeah! I've never been so happy to see a car rolling down the pit lane. Thank you very much, Evil Dragon. Don't you? Wow. Is that because I called it Nürburgring? Is that because I called it Nürburgring? This will be qualifying now, people. I believe. And here we go then for 10 minutes of qualifying, or 12 minutes, I can never remember. At the Nürburgring. I'm coughing, I know, I'm not vaping. That's a bad idea. So Evil Dragon's here for Full Throttle Racing, I believe. They are rocking an Audi. They did change their car over. I think they were in a Gen X and they moved over. Groot, still in the Gen X, could be standing in for Fred Dude, possibly. Marinho racing for Scuderia Chiara. Liam with AXR, I think. Yes. Nice, I like it. Nice Aston. Sober in the Garage 96 Audi. And they're in a tough battle, didn't I say? They were in a tough battle with someone only a point ahead or behind. I'll find it literally. Oh, with AXR. No, not with AXR. They're just ahead of Speedbox. Oh, I don't know if Speedbox are here actually. Wow. There's the Clockwork. One of them. I think I'd know by now. Vertex or Apex. And there's the other one. I think the other one is Apex. And that one's Vertex. So on board with AXR Groot here, ready for his first flying lap. Let's sit on board with the Maestro as he strokes his Gen X around a lap of Nürburgring for us. So down into the first corner, first gear, hugging onto that apex, waiting to get onto the accelerator, up to second to stop that wheel spin, up and over the hill with a little feather. Oh, such a little dancing foot as Groot got, and then deep onto the brakes, going out late and then bringing it in. Onto the apex, swinging it the other way, and a lovely exit there, just trying to keep a wheel on the track to keep it legal as we go a long ways down, and then it's another dip off the accelerator, swinging it around, and then back to the right. You do the okie dokie and you turn around, and that's the Nürburgring. Oh, it's all around the corners. Oh, it's just a bunch of corners. And again, another tight right-hander. Sorry. Aren't all racetracks just a bunch of corners? Excuse me. Taking some speed over here. He's going full pelt through the upward chicane. And then it'll be onto the brakes again. Down over the curb. Going downhill now. It's an alright track. I'm just joking. It's because Schumacher had his hand in it, apparently. And then it's a full throttle all the way to the chicane at the end of the track. It's only the chicane and one more corner, and sitting on board with Groot. I've seen no mistakes yet. This should be a cracking little time from the AXR driver as we head up to the final corner. And again, tugging that apex quite nicely. Then they roll out onto the curb and then flooring it down the start straight as if it post a 155.7. And Liam Thurso's just beat that with a 55.6. Groot then in second. Sober third with a 56.4. And again, Noirs in the BMW for Clockwork has gone second fastest. The times all coming in now, all nice and tight. And Nano Maranello down in seventh in the Corvette. Surprising, he's been a contender in the top three in most of the last recent races. Liam Thurso getting used to the new Aston Martin. They had a little changeover. Did they? I think they did. Excuse me. I should mute. I know you don't want to hear that, but it's a tickle. So it's Aston Martin versus BMW at the front, and my word, is tight with a 500th of a second, cutting the two top, and another 500th there. It's a 10th in the top three. GT Racer in the Corvette sitting fourth so far. Oh, big snake coming out of the corner. He was up, but I think he's lost that now. I think he's thrown that little extra away after we saw his exit of the corner, but we'll stick with it. We'll never know. But I would be surprised if he can maintain that purple to the next sector. Sober Motorsports in fourth. Oh, he does, you know. Oh, well, there you go. I eat my words. What did I know? What do I know? That looked too much of a wiggle on for me. I'm gonna, you know, with this tickle that I've got, I'll add a bit of coffee in there. You know, that helps. Evil Dragon going fourth fastest. And GT Racer, he looked scruffy. It might have just been the date. He goes up to third, so it doesn't purple it all the way. Liam Thurso then still on top of the pile in the Aston Martin, and Noir and Terrace in the Beamer in second place, with GT Racer, as we saw, just putting up into third in the Corvette. Groot in the Gen X down into fourth. He's getting purples, and so we'll stick with him through the next few corners just to see what erupts. And he's bringing it down the hill here. Big Mama has just gone 8th fastest. And Groot falling out with the apex there. Didn't want to quite meet that one, but he's still up. And the fuel is going down, so the cars are getting lighter. The tyres can only get better until they're virtually all red. It's a weird concept with the tyres. I don't understand them that well. Even when they go red, they carry on working. It's strange. But he's still up on the Aston Martin as he brings it around up to the chicane. This is where it could all be lost, and it could all be gained, obviously. And he slips it through like a thread through the eye of a needle, coming up to the final corner, slinging the Gen X into it to claim himself provisional second place. Oof. 200ths of a second, man. 200ths of a second. So that's Groot up into second place with Noirs in third in the Beamer now. Oh, no, I spoke too soon. It's all shifting. GT Racer took pole position for the millisecond. He had it until Noir and Terrace. There you go. You see the distance behind. I think they may be playing the tow game here. I think Clockwork might be helping each other out a little bit here. But yes, GT Racer getting pole position, but Noir in his tow, claiming pole. Liam Thurso's got in for a fresh set of boots, and he obviously felt that they'd lost some of their strengths and wanted to change. Group carrying on, and then Sober for Team 96, Garage 96, sorry, are in 5th place at the moment, 2/10 off of Groot, AXR team, and 7/10 off of Clockwork on pole. And the Audi, I thought, was a tricky customer, but they've done very well in it so far this season and had some strong showings, hence them being in a very intense battle with AXR. No, not AXR, he was behind Sober, but not Sober, I can't remember what team it was. I don't think they're here anyway. Oh, he's backed out of it, so Evil Dragon for full throttle, 6th place at the moment in the other Audi, interestingly. They changed their car over, they had the Gen X, he's gone in for a tyre change, and so has Groot. Maranello, his tyres look relatively fresh, and he's up on his own time. He's 4.1 seconds off of pole position, 1.5 seconds up. I'll put him around 4th maybe, and they're all coming in now to oh, GT Racer's just taken pole, I apologise, and Liam Thurso going faster as well. The other set have come in, but we're watching Nano. We're expecting a big jump here as he comes up to the line, and yes, up to 3rd place there for the Corvette driver for Scuderia Chiara, and in 3rd on the grid provisional. But GT Racer, whilst they all came into the pits in his Corvette, has gone ahead and put pole nearly 4/10 ahead of Noir Anteras, who's out there on a fresh set of tyres now. He's on his out lap at the moment. I'm imagining GT Racer's on his in lap, but we'll try and see a sector just around this next corner and see if he is posting another pole or if he's coming into the pits. I imagine that's going to come into the pits on that one. So Big Mama down there in the McLaren with the bougie lady on the side. Oh, she's in a bikini, so it's all clean, it's all right. No need for censorship here. Big Mama 3/10 faster than they have gone before. Sliding through the corner, absolutely beautiful. 10 out of 10 for style of Big Mama. That was unbelievable. And then heavy braking down into the hairpin for Big Mama there in the McLaren. Car lurching on the tyres, doesn't want to go. Still 2.5 tenths up. They need 4 seconds to find Evil Dragon's time, but any time you can go quicker than you've gone before is a battle won. So Big Mama then, we're watching the glory on track as they bring it around, touching the dirt on the entry in the corner, but they seem to have rode that one out. Again, kicking up some dust. They've found more time on their own time. They're 8/10 faster than they've gone before, and this is extraordinary what we're seeing developing in front of us now. Heavy braking into the chicane. Can Big Mama carry this speed through and get through? Oh my god, no, they've just saved it out of the chicane, but how much time did they lose? Going into the final corner now, touching the apex, giving a little kiss, then a rub, you know what I mean, and then exiting. Oh, and they're on the dust, they're on the gravel, but they've got it back on. Can they go faster? Oh, unfortunately, losing a little time in that last sector there. Meanwhile, GTP Racer has obviously crossed the pit lane exit and has, I don't know if that's just going to cost them on their out lap, but it might affect their flying lap, and we are getting close. We're 13 minutes in now, so GT Racer on pole may only have one more lap. If that penalty carries on through to their flying lap, then they have, they're It is touch and go for GT Racer. Noir Anteras now getting his tyres into the place they need to be before he unleashes a flying lap. He's 6/10 down on this lap at the moment. And it seems maybe the track's got cooler or something, but the car's just not getting the times come later in the session. Oh, Nano, he was up, but he's touched the gravel there. Liam at Thurso on the push with the Aston Martin. And we'll go to Nano Maranello. He's ahead of the gang at the moment, going into the chicane. And how much time did he lose kicking up that gravel? And he comes up to the final corner, taking the car as wide into the entry as possible, going through, giving that Apex a little nudge and a kiss and a shake on the way out with a little gravel to boot. And he goes a 10th faster. It does nothing more for him. And Evil Dragon goes faster up to 4th place for Full Throttle Racing in the Audi, jumping AXR teams and Garage 86, Garage 96, sorry. And Big Mama out there. Liam going faster, staying 5th. Was he 5th or was he behind Groot? I'm not sure. But yeah, he goes faster now and up and into 5th place. GT Racer then is leading is on provisional pole. He's got rid of that 3-second penalty, so it obviously didn't come into this lap. And so he's looking good for a good, maybe it is just, if it's 15 minutes, it's just this lap really. The flag will be out at the end of this lap. And that's 15 minutes, and it is flag out. Who's first across the line? I think it was Nano Maranello, isn't it? He's 2.5 tenths down. It's only 700ths of a second he needs to find on Noir Anteras, but he's already down on himself. Evil Dragon's just down the road from him as well. What's he looking like? Who knows? It's hard to tell. Oh, and Nano Maranello picking up a penalty, and that has got to be the end of his day. So Evil Dragon, we pick up on Evil Dragon then to see if there's anything he can do to nudge himself further up the grid. GT Racer and Noir Anteras out there as well, battling it out for pole position. Liam at Thurso and AXR Group, both very speedy drivers and sober, really. Anyone can do it in the last minutes. We're watching Evil Dragon bringing it around the final corner. And then I think it's Groot after him, and then after that I'm lost, guys. So, you know, good luck. So, no, he goes no faster. Groot throws it off. Oh, who's closest? And there we see Noir's crossing the line. Doesn't go any faster, so it's GT Racer at the moment who's on pole. Can Liam at Thurso do anything about it as he comes up towards the line? No, he cannot. And then Sober, no change there. So GT Racer takes pole position ahead of his teammate Noir Anteras in the Apex team. Noir and Nano Maranello on the second row with the Audi of Full Throttle Racing Evil Dragon. Liam at Thurso makes it a twosome of the AXR team for the third row, and Sober and Big Mama lining up the rear. This is going to be a tantalizing race. Let's take you to that grid, and it's GT. Oh, look at that, All-American. It's the All-American stars at the top of the table in Germany. And I mean, I don't want to go there, but I think, you know, it was the Americans that brought Germany to their knees before, so wow, they've come back and they brought it. Evil Dragon 4th with Liam at Thurso 5th, Groot 6th, Sober in 7th, and Big Mama in 8th place. Oh, wrong button. Close that. They're not at the track yet. And I'll check Discord that I've not crossed the line yet. Nope, seems good. I think. So just waiting for the... so yeah, we're going to have a 4-hour race split into 2 hours. 2 drivers, 1 car. So we'll have 2-hour race now around Nürburgring. And then we will have a another stream opening up with a bunch of different drivers driving the same cars, doing another 2 hours. They get points for both races, all added up for an exciting little championship. My rabbit's going crazy because I've got the back door open with some grating across the way, and it wants to get in and tune my steering wheel wires like it has done on many wheels before. Oh, Noir feels like he was impeded somewhere. And Groot says, well, yes, but it's hard. I mean, if he was streaming himself and he's got footage of it, then it's easy to prove, but it's tough unless I caught it, and I didn't see really anyone. Oh, ran out of talent, question mark. Yes. I don't know who he was talking about. But the race, now the driver's probably going for a quick whiz.
Good luck, everyone.
And Mangors in the chat saying good luck to everyone. I know it's exciting stuff at the moment with the Clockwork team on top, like we've seen before, and that Scuderia Chiara right there to make life interesting. And Noir says he wish he was American. He's got an American flag, so I just assumed maybe not all top three are American. Team America, yeah. I watched that the other day. Hilarious. Come on, let's get some racing going. I've got myself edged up now. This is Groot edging me. Come on. I'm halfway there. Come on, don't leave me. The blue balls. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Race 1 of round 6 about to commence at the Nürburgring. Qualifying was all about the Clockwork, but can Scuderia them come back? Hang on, I forgot I've got to be quick. And he does it. And Liam at Thurso isn't on pole. Let me find out who is on pole. GT Race, there you go, it's sorted itself out now. Here we go then, the lights, and we are off for 2 hours racing here at Nürburgring. Then it's a straight dash for GT Racer and Noir Anteras, the Beamer versus the Corvette, down into the first corner. And it's Giannano Maranello from nowhere on the outside. It's Bedlam. It's Bedlam, I tell thee. What's going on? There's Maranello up into second place. I didn't get a good look at that, but it seemed crazy stuff was happening. GT Racer managing to pull away from it all in the Corvette. And Nano Maranello in second. He came from nowhere. Noir Anteras in third place. Liam at Thurso fourth. Sober is up and into fifth. Group 6. Evil Dragon is seventh, and Big Mama down in eighth. So Evil Dragon, a big loser there. He lost, out a lot in that start, and we can see what happened to him, I suppose. I don't want to miss any action, but we can, I think I pressed the button. So there we are with Evil Dragon coming down into the first corner. Oh, I don't even think that's anyone's fault either. I just think the computer had some massive lagged the Beamer straight into the back of that was bizarre. That's just downright bad coding. I don't know how to explain that, because I think there was contact between Noir and Nano Maranello, but not enough to bounce the Beamer backwards into the Audi. So that was some strange physics happening there, I'm afraid. Sorry, Evil Dragon, you're where you are, but I think the only thing to blame there is the lobbies or GT7. Or Kaz. Damn you, Kaz. So GT Racer is leading in the Corvette. It's a Corvette fest here at the Nürburgring with the Puma livery Scuderia Chiara in second spot. Liam at Thurso has brought that Aston Martin up ahead of the BMW in fourth place. Then we have Sober in the Garage 96 Audi ahead of Groot in the Gen X, and there's Evil Dragon. He's got to carry that damage. The damage is on full here, so if you need something fixing, then you got to go in the garage and fix it. It doesn't automatically fix, so Evil Dragon's going to be dealing with a very understeery Audi for the first part of this race. And Big Mama there, 2 seconds behind in the McLaren. GT Racer then leads them away, and this is the race then. They're all on racing softs. I don't think anyone dared go for a strategy expecting rain. I think rain is on random, as it always is, and as we saw at Spa, it did not come. I think at one race it did come, and in the other group that I'm in, it doesn't seem to come when you have it on random. So we ended up just doing weather forecasts and saying it's going to rain here and this is how long it's going to rain. It seemed the only fairest way, because then the host will know when it rains. I mean, if Groot weren't racing, he could manipulate the rain because he gains nothing from it. But relying on random, it's not something you really can do. But the rest of the field, I see they've gone for soft tyres. The soft tyres, they were lasting, weren't they? They could have easily got through half a tank of fuel on those softs in that qualifying. So yeah, soft tyres isn't a terrible one. I'm assuming they've gone softs thinking they might have to stop for wets or inters, and it's not worth going for a long run. But I would have been very tempted to go for a medium set of tyres. And there, Groot under pressure from Evil Dragon. Evil Dragon learning to drive around that front damage now, and is gaining speed on Groot, with Nano Maranello going fastest of all of them so far. Noir and Terrace then very fast in qualifying, but he's lost two positions. Liam at Thurso on fire in the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin obviously built the setup more for the race rather than qualifying, and the Corvettes are on fire. Look at them, 6/10 apart, very close indeed to each other, on board with Nano Maranello. Checking out the Corvette ahead, going wildly off the line. Nano Maranello sounds like blipping his accelerator a little bit. Is he trying to conserve fuel this early in the race? He's already got a 2.5 second gap on Liam at Thurso. The skies are as blue as they possibly could be. So relying on rain in your strategy, I don't think is worth the cause. And so Nano Maranello may be saving fuel, try to take this car a little later into the race than what they probably originally planned. Chasing after the Corvette, and it is a Corvette Fest right up ahead. It's beautiful. 4/10 now. It was 6/10. Nano Maranello is looking like he's moving in for the kill early doors. And reeling off one fastest lap after another.
Too bad we can't race today.
And
I'm hoping to see some rain. Good luck, everyone.
All the YouTube things repeated for some reason. That's bizarre. But yeah, we had Frequency earlier saying good luck to everyone. Too bad we can't race today. Frequency also saying I'm hoping to see some rain. And Mind August saying good luck everyone. So at the moment we are lap 4. GT Racer leading the way, and he posted the fastest lap that lap. Then we have Nano Maranello in the second Corvette in second place. Liam at Thurso didn't do too hot at qualifying, but has gained a few positions in the start of the race. We saw Noir Anteras and Nano Maranello may have come across each other, and that knocked Noir Anteras back into Evil Dragon, knocking Evil Dragon to quite far back there. He was attacking Groot, but he's picked up a penalty, and Groot managing to pull away from him somewhat now. Noir Anteras is closing in on the Audi ahead of him of Sober. They've all gone out on soft tyres, and we are keeping an eye. I think the soft tyres probably is the only tyre that it looks like the fuel is burning down rather fast. I think the fuel is burning down faster than the tyres, so I think Nano Maranello picking up a 5/10, half a second penalty, should I say. And Liam at Thurso will be buoyant at the sight of that. He's going faster each lap. Sober not too far behind him, 2.2 seconds. Noir Anteras turning up the wick and closing in on the Audi driver ahead of him. And that will be interesting, with Groot not far out in the distance either. So these two, if they start getting into some racing action. They'll slow each other down, and that will be amazing for Groot to close in. Evil Dragon losing time there, and I think the damage on his car, even Evil Dragon. And Evil Dragon saying his lag is just too extreme to drive, so we might lose full throttle racing if it's undrivable. GT Racer, meanwhile, crosses the line, fastest man on track, and he's pulled out 2 seconds on Nano Marinello. Remember, there were 6/10 on the last lap, virtually. Now it's up to 2 seconds. We saw Nano Marinello pick up that penalty, half a second penalty, and it's cost him a net second, 1.2 seconds. Evil Dragon's gone in to try and fix that car, but I don't think the pits can fix lag. With Liam at Thurso, then steady third for AXR Racing, and he's ahead of Garage 96, who I think they've got to keep behind them for the championship's sake. They don't want Sober scoring too many points in the next couple of rounds. Excuse me. And Noir and Terrace in 5th place, and there goes Evil Dragon. Yeah, he's decided the lag is too much, and we're down to 7 contenders. Great news for the nice for Big Mama there. That's all good points going towards their team, so that's great stuff for the McLaren driver. And GT Racer maintaining that 2-second gap. 2.5 seconds back to Liam at Thurso. It's quite close. I mean, they're all sort of 2-ish seconds apart. Noir Anteras closing in on the Audi, but doesn't seem to be able to just close that extra bit that he needs to close. He's pulled away from Groot somewhat. Groot doing a 56, steady 56. Fuel is looking similar for everyone out there. No one seems to be burning any more fuel than anyone else. And someone's just joined in, which is bizarre. And so GT Racer crosses the line, leading the race. Nano and Marinello in second, Liam at Thurso in the Aston Martin in third, Sober in the Audi in fourth, being caught by Noir and Terrace in 5th place. And Groot slipping back even more, but Groot might be playing the fuel game or looking after the tyres. I think that was the main problem with the Gen X, was it not? It was a tyre killer. Tyre killer. Tyre killer. So a GT Racer leads 2.7 seconds. Nano Marinello struggling with something. No, he did 55s, and it's 55s there. It's just tenths and tenths and tenths he's pulling out each lap on Nano Marinello. Liam at Thurso not gaining any ground on Nano Marinello, but Sober does seem to be gaining on Liam at Thurso with a 55.7 last time around for the Audi driver. Liam at Thurso, the Aston Martin, seeming to get slower with the tyres. Yes, the Aston Martin, I believe, not coping with the older tyres as well as oh, look at the Audi, really is nursing those tyres. Lovely. Equal damage all the way around the car means it's a stabler car, whereas you see the Aston Martin seems to be wearing more on the front left tyre, and that means that car will be a little understeery and a little bit unsettled within the corner. So Liam at Thurso at the moment having to drive around a little bit of tyre wear, but my word, Noir and Terrace has closed right up on Sober, and is it could be the help that Liam at Thurso needs right now, because he will be a huge distraction in the mirrors of Sober. Although he gets a little excited and goes on his accelerator, his car will do a huge wobble and he'll lose all that time that he's gained. But he's still in the toe into the braking zone now. The Beamer, you can brake lovely and late, just hook it around with that rear engine drive, just swing it out. There you see him just lifting over the hill, waiting, getting on the accelerator and chasing down, and it looks like that Aston Martin has now become a limping mule of a car, and it looks like it's just losing time, hand over fist to the two cars behind. We're on board with the BMW of Noir and Terrace, and we're chasing down the Audi of Sober, Garage 96, and the AXR driver Liam Atherso is in the Aston Martin. We see ahead of us the white and purple car, and he is struggling, it seems, in the Aston Martin for grip. I think he's struggling with the grip, son. Meanwhile, the two Corvettes are in a world of their own. 3 seconds now for GT Racer. Nothing can stop him now. He's having such a good time. He's having a ball. So nothing can stop him now. Nano Maranello trying to stay with him, but Nano Maranello is picking up a penalty somewhere. There's a corner that disagrees with him, or he disagrees with the corner, because he keeps picking up himself half-second penalties. And remember, the last time I saw him get a half-second penalty, he was 2.7 seconds ahead of Liam Atherso, and Liam Atherso is gaining. He's down to less than 2 seconds on Nano Maranello now, and Noir and Terrace is through. Oh no, sorry guys, Noir and Terrace has got past. It's already happened, my bad, sorry. Oh, well, though Sober was there, wasn't he? Coming out the chicane, looking tasty, Gav, on the attack of the BMW. And that's a race I think it's going to fury on for a couple of laps. Yeah, come on. Here we go. So, yeah, and with them two fighting, they've let Liam Atherso gain a whole bunch of times. They were really closing, but now the Beamer is set free from the Audi, and the Beamer might set a pounce on the Aston Martin. We'll have a look. And Sober in Garage 96's Audi, sitting in 5th, but it's a very close 5th. We've got Groot in 6th now, 3.3 seconds. He is being very, very consistent with those times. Think he's trying to nurse the tyres for as late in the race as he possibly can. And Big Mama, she really does look after, they really look after their tyres real well. GT Racer, meanwhile, halfway through the tyres, but it's even wear, and he's got about half a tank of fuel. Where are we? We're nearly 15 minutes into a 2-hour race. That means 30 minutes in, he could probably make a pit stop. 30, an hour and a half. There's 3 stops. That's really what he's probably looking at. Similar for Nano and Maranello. Half a tank at the 15-minute mark, 2-hour race. You're thinking 3 stops is the best they can manage with these fuel tanks. Liam Atherso also looking like that is the way to go. But his tyres, though, I don't know if his tyres can take a battering for another 15 minutes. The front left is very angry in his times. He's just gone faster, so I might be talking horseradish about his tyres, because he's just posted a faster time. Nano Maranello has gone in. Is he going to? We've seen him do these sprints, haven't we? I think a race before, and it was all about the tyres, left the fuel. So Nano Maranello may be doing that, but I think it's a very long pit lane, isn't it? Yeah, we'll see. Liam Atherso then moves up into 2nd place. He was the one I was figuring, whoa, the back end of the Aston Martin just disagreeing with Liam at that point in the corner, and that has let Noir and Sober close right up to the Aston Martin, and it's a race on here at Nürburgring for round 6, race 1 of the AXR GT World Endurance Championship Season 2, and it's going great guns at the moment for the lead. Now, where did Nano Maranello come out? He's come out behind Groot by 16.6 seconds. Yes, oh, he did topple. He put a tipple of fuel in, but it was mainly tyres that he's pitted for. And we'll see. We saw a race before where I'm sure it was Nano that did the sprint race and just kept coming in for new tyres and only fuel in every other stop, and it did very good for him in the race. I don't think he got a win. I think it was good for podiums though. So we'll see. GT Racer cracking on, but those tyres are starting, I'd see, yeah, I think fuel is not going to be an issue. But tyres are. The tyres are not going to get to 30 minutes in this race. Look at Liam at Thurso with the Aston Martin very much struggling on those tyres. Noir Anteras closing right in, looking after his tyres absolutely deliciously. And so he's right on the bumper of Liam at Thurso. Liam at Thurso staying out in the Martin. And he's just going to try and be a thorn in the BMW's side, because I'm sure Noir Anteras can go faster than what he's managing at the moment. Liam at Thurso then 56.7, still a very good lap time, 56.1 from Noir Anteras, and Noir Anteras will be wanting to get by that Aston Martin. It's slowing him down, and while it's slowing him down, he's going to have an Audi looming large. Groot there is some 4.5 seconds behind him. Tyres are pretty much mullered for him now, just dropped into the 57s, and that is not comfortable. Nano Marinello stopped. Oh, Nano Marinello, sorry. I think I added an extra Elo on there. 6th, but was 2nd, pitted, put new tyres on, tipple of fuel, and he's back out there now, slamming them in. Big Mama doing lovely 58s now, look. Getting into the groove. And still looking after their tyres extremely well, GT Racer. Liam at Thurso was the one, wasn't he? And here we go, Noir Anteras is right on his bumper. And he's a second ahead of Sober, but he can't put a foot wrong, because Sober will be all up and in his busyness. And Liam at Thurso has got to drive steady here. His tyres under immense pressure. The grip very minimal for the Aston Martin driver, although he got through that corner a lot better than the BMW. And coming down here though, you imagine the Beamer to be strong, under braking and into the chicane. And the Aston Martin there having to brake very early. Look how much the Beamer closed up, under braking, and there we see the Aston Martin peeling off. Liam at Thurso having to call it quits with those tyres 20 minutes into the race. And will he opt for a medium set of tyres, give up a bit of speed, or another set of softs and a shorter stint? We will see, and that puts Noir Anteras up and into 2nd place. But Sober, he was a second behind. He's closing up in no end, but his rear tyres are absolutely shot in the garage. 96 teamed Audi, and Noir Anteras just keeping it steady, and we've got a clockwork 1-2 again. Nano Marinello now up into 4th place. He's picked up a penalty again, and Groot going in to change those tyres as his teammate just leaves the pits. Some 7 seconds behind Nano. That's how much he's picked up from that earlier pit stop, because he wasn't 7 seconds ahead of Liam at Thurso before the pit stop. So Nano picking up a lot of time, and what does that say for GT Racer? That says GT Racer could be in trouble here. Noir Anteras doesn't look like he's interested in a pit stop anytime soon. His tyres are in fabulous condition, and he's got a quarter of a tank of fuel. But Sober is definitely in the window of needing some tyres, but he's closed right up to the BMW. So maybe the Audi is dealing with those rear tyres quite well, and you'd think he'd want that rear grip. But Sober trying to stay with the Beamer. And Noir Anteras not putting a single foot wrong here, giving nothing away to Sober. Nano Marinello, another penalty. It's probably the same penalty. Is 8.5 seconds. Liam at Thurso in, back out. He opted for soft tyres, 3/4 of a tank. Groot similar, soft tyres, 3/4 of a tank. Big Mama still taking those tyres all the way, baby. And GT Racer also still managing to get, well, 56s. He was 54s as his fastest, 55s on the reg, and now he slipped into the 56s on those soft tyres. Noir Anteras also in the 56s. I think that 57 he was fighting with Liam at Thurso. So he's managing 56s on a worn set of tyres, but there's still some white left on those tyres. Quarter of a tank of fuel. And still good to go, I think, up until the 30-minute. I think these are what these guys are aiming for. The half-hour mark. That's 3 pit stops, sorry. Half hour, 1 hour. 1.5 hours. So I'm thinking some of these guys who haven't pitted yet, aiming for that 30-minute, but I don't know, GT Racer, that's a lot to ask. Another 8 minutes, what's that, another 4 laps on those tyres. It's hanging out there, look, you're falling out with that AequepaX right now. Noir Antares as well, hanging it out, but he's got better looking tyres definitely than Sober, but Sober sticking to the back of him with those tyres. Meanwhile, the other story goes, Nano Maranello, who pitted earlier, a lot earlier, his tyres seeming to stay with it a bit better now. Maybe the track's warmed up, maybe less fuel, less wear. So Nano Maranello, because he's been on those tyres now for about 7 or 8 minutes. So yeah, they're living better than the set from the first stint. Liam Thurso also getting through those tyres like early doors. He's pitted. He's 8 seconds behind Nano Maranello. He's 6.3 seconds ahead of Groot, and he's really racing Noirs and Sober. And with them staying out, he's hoping to get the undercut on those guys, but they will be doing a pit stop less than himself. GT Racer then still continuing on with a very worn set of racing softs out there. He's attempting lap 13. We're 23.5 minutes into a 2-hour race. This is an endurance, not a sprint. Noir Antares, though, cannot shake Sober. Sober staying with him all the way, but Sober really is suffering with a bit of rear tyre wear there. And I was going to say, the problem with the rear tyre wear is that back end can slip away, just lose grip in the middle of a corner and just flip you around. So we're having to be even more careful in the corners, not to put too much pressure on the back end, or she will have him around. Meanwhile, trying to stay with the Beamer that's still got good grip. Nano Maranello waiting for the race to come back to him with his earlier pit stop.
See the different strats play out.
And Liam at Thurso in fifth. It is Harry Mop in the chat saying will be interesting to see the different strats play out. It is. Because Liam stopped at like 20 minutes, Nano stopped at 15, Groot stopped at 20. These guys, I think, are trying to go 30 minutes, but it's a big ask. Oh no, the fuels are starting to shake up a little bit. I don't know if they can. I don't think GT Racer will get to the 30-minute mark, and maybe not Sober either. It looks like he's had to back off from Noir and Terrace quite a lot to try and get that fuel to go. Nano Maranello, his tyres are a lot better condition than the last. He's done 10 minutes on those tyres now, and he did 15 minutes before, and he'd ripped through them virtually. So now we've got GT Racer and Noir and Terrace both making it, and Sober, so no one got to that 30-minute mark. Interesting stuff. Nano Maranello with the undercut stopped a lot earlier, and what will he gain? They'll have to stop in and put half a tank of fuel in at least, where he only put a splash of fuel in. These guys are all going to fuel up a little bit, and Nano Maranello was posting the fastest lap of the race, takes the lead. And this is now where the strategies come into place, because Nano Maranello, remember, well, yeah, I'd say he'd be pitting in about 5 minutes, but he doesn't have to. So interesting stuff. So then GT Racer does get back out and only loses the one position to Nano Maranello. Liam at Thurso gains on Noir and Terrace. Groot gains on Sober. So Groot put himself in there nicely. Liam and Groot, with their earlier stop, has raised positions, because I'm sure Liam at Thurso, no, he could have been behind Noir, actually. But yeah, it's Sober that misses out. But Sober's filled right up. Groot's gone half a tank. Well, Sober's tyres, he's gone for softs. Noir and Terrace, he's filled right up as well. Liam at Thurso on half a tank. GT Racer has filled up right as well. Interesting stuff. Speedy Man Charles says, let's go Nano. And he's doing super at the moment, but he's going to be doing a pit stop more than everyone else, I believe. So it's, yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out for him. but at the moment he's going great guns and he's going great laps. 8 seconds ahead of GT Racer, who has led since being on pole for the first 20 odd minutes, 27 minutes of this race, and he's going to wear those tyres out if he keeps sliding it around the corners like that. Liam at Thurso in the Aston Martin, plugging on nicely and sitting in a podium position right now, with Noir Anteras though on an absolutely brand spanking new set of racing softs closing in, but with a half a tank fuel load on more, so his car will be a little weightier than the Aston Martin, but that seems to not matter. Liam at Thurso really getting caught by Noir Anteras right now, grouped there in 5th, trying to latch on to that battle, with Sober slipping back and picking up a penalty to boot. But it's all about Nano Maranello at the moment, without Stussilla racing here as well. Aren't they second in the championship? Isn't this just exactly what they need right now? And let me see those league details. Onyx Scuderia Chiara are on 138 points, with Clockwork Apex on 147. Clockwork Apex is Noir Anteras, who's down in 4th at the moment, and Stussilla racing on 220 points. So this, a win for Chiara right now, would be an absolute huge injection in the arm of the championship battle. And Noir Anteras down there in 4th, losing points on his closest competitor, with Liam at Thurso trying to inject some lovely points into the AXR team. And Groot also doing a super job keeping Garage 96 at bay. But can the Gen X live with that tyre wear? Noir Anteras getting ever closer to the Aston Martin. We're on board now with the BMW driver, looking for a little wheel-to-wheel action for that final podium position. We are now coming up to 29 minutes in this race. 2 hours, so we've got an hour and a half to go, and there's plenty of racing to go, I tell thee. So stay with us here at the AXR Racing channel for, don't forget, don't worry about your Le Mans. I had a quick look, it looked boring, so stay with this. And as Noir tries to slip one up the inside in the chicane, not a place I would advise to try to make a maneuver, and Noir Anteras absolutely biting, chomping at the bit to get by, but he knows, he might be getting a bit worried that it's the AXR team ahead of him, it's the AXR team behind him, and maybe he's feeling that Liam is pushing him back into Groot, which would work for Liam and Thursday. And there again, he had to swing out of the braking zone to avoid Liam, and I'm not saying that's happening, but oof. Liam at Thurso though is ahead. He picks the line, he picks the braking point. That is racing. And Noir Anteras, it's down to him to find a way by. And Liam at Thurso can run the race as fast and as slow as he likes. And remember, he's got fuel to think about. And the BMW driver, noticing, must be aware that the Gen X is getting closer and closer. So the BMW driver does not want to dilly-dally too much behind the Aston Martin that seems to be just running its race, running its laps, trying to keep everything steady, manage the car for a podium, because I don't think it's going to beat the Corvettes today. I don't think anything's going to beat the Corvettes today. Nano Maranello then 7 seconds. He's lost a second on GT Racer, and he's getting close to his pit stop. That is going to drop him, what do we reckon, behind Groot? Could be behind Sober again. So oof, it's a risky strategy they're playing. How's his tyres? His tyres are good, but the fuel there, look, he's in. Interesting. And here we go, Anteras again trying to get past the Aston Martin. He's up alongside him as they come into the chicane, and the Aston Martin asking for a little bit more room on the apex, and Noir Anteras having to give it to him. Maranello into the pits as these two come into the corner side by side, and Noir Anteras gives way to the Aston Martin. And what delicious driving. I mean, they probably Noir and Terrace will probably feel it's a pain in the ass driving, but for the viewer, it's delicious. It's cracking. And again, Noir and Terrace going for the inside on the Aston Martin. And the Aston Martin trying to switch back, and he's been taken out by his own teammate. Oh my God, Group's up into third, and Liam at third, so is down into fourth. Noir, where is Noir and Terrace is up into second. He says goodbye into team, and so through, but Groot, I think Liam was trying to make the switch back. I think he was trying to cut back under Noir. He knew he'd lost the position to Noir and Terrace. I wish I'd pressed Z for a replay, because I honestly think Liam was trying to go back past, but Groot obviously saw an opportunity as well, tried to go for the move, and then they fell over each other, and Groot having to lift to let Liam out third, so back through, and Noir and Terrace gains that position rather easily. And GT Racer 11.6 seconds in all of that. Nano Maranello had a pit stop, and he's come back out. What they're losing, about 20 seconds? Not even that, is it? Yeah. I tell you what, he's probably losing, and even longer, because he's filled the car up this time. He's probably losing around about 30 seconds, and yeah, he's 10 seconds behind Sober, who's on 3/4 of a tank of fuel. Groot, who's on 1/4 of a tank just above. Liam at Thurso is on just under half a tank. Noir and Terrace is on 3/4 of a tank, and GT Racer is also on 3/4. So Nano Maranello, there is no such thing as a bad strategy, but it's a Ferrari strategy, if at least. But it did work for them. I'm sure they've run this strategy before with the sprints, and it worked for them. But here, I'm not sure. I think the pit lane or the pit stop might be just a little too long. And yeah, being nearly 10 seconds behind Sober, and those boys aren't going to be pitting for another, 20 minutes? This time though, Nano Maranello did fill all the way up, so maybe he's going for a long stint this stint. We will see. Interesting. GT Racer though, 12-second lead on his teammate Noir and Terrace. Noir and Terrace has Liam at Thurso just behind, and Groot behind him in 4th place. Sober Motorsport, that helped him a lot. That little tussle between Noir, Liam and Groot has put Sober straight back into the action there, with only 1.5 seconds back from the guys ahead of him. GT Racer leading in the Corvette, got pole. Nano Maranello in the other Corvette has fastest lap, so the GT Racer doesn't have the triple. So far in this race, just he's covering the lead, and he's got the pole. And his fastest lap to get the treble. But it's definitely a Corvette-friendly track. Seems like the Corvette's running well here. Noir and Terrace in second, having a lovely little battle with Liam at Thurso earlier on. Liam at Thurso making that Aston Martin sing at the moment in podium positions. Groot though, he would like to get the Gen X up there. Sober also wants to get his Audi in the action. And Nano Maranello, we mustn't forget about, going for a radical strategy that no one else has dared touch. Although I would imagine Liam and Groot would be getting close, ready. 1/4 of a tank between the two of them. Oh, and Groot's lost the back end, and that has let Sober through and up and into 4th place. And the Gen X catching out Groot there. It's his first race this season in the AXR team for this championship. I'm sure he's raced in other championships with the team, but it's the first one we've seen. Groot out and about. Usually he sits hiding in the corner of the lobby staring at everyone. It's disturbing. So yeah, it's nice to see him out there, although tyre wear is real on that Gen X. GT Racer leads by 12 seconds from the BMW, both clockwork cars. Clockwork Vertex or something, and Clockwork Apex. So I think Noir and Terrace is in the A team, and the GT Racers in the B team. They took points away from them at the last championship, which was quite surprising. In my race, I didn't see much of the second race, so I do apologise. But in the race that I covered, yeah, we thought that the Corvette was going to pull over to let the Beamer through, but it didn't. So GT Racer out there for everything he can get. A win would be amazing. Noir and Terrace in the Beamer, chasing him down. Noir more in the championship than the Vertex team is. Hang on, I've got to check the table again. Every man for themselves, it seems. Yeah, see, because Clockwork Apex is second in the championship, being caught by Scuderia Chiara, and Clockwork Vertex is fourth on 133 points. So Clockwork Vertex can't really, it's not great. The Vertex team is taking points away from the Apex team, but it seems no team orders in the Clockwork establishment. Liam at Thurso there, third for Aston Martin. No team orders in the AXR team either. I don't even know which AXR team I'm looking at anyway. And Sober. I imagine. No, yeah, well, the AXR that's on 130 points, I believe, is the team that Group's driving, because the other AequepaX team changed their car. So Liam at Thurso will be for the AequepaX Racing. They're on 48.5 points there. But Speedbots is not here on 98 points, so they can still catch Speedbots by the end of the season. But it will be a struggle for anyone above that. They're racing full throttle, but full throttle had to pull out because of lag today. There's no Racing Team Finland, I notice, here for the humble guys. And Chiara Corsa's here. But, yeah. GT Racer 12.2 seconds ahead of Noir and Terrace, with Liam at Thurso then nearly killing his tyres, coming to the end of his run. He stopped about 20 minutes, and we're nearly at 40 minutes now, so he's in the window. Sober stayed out as late as he possibly could, so I imagine Sober's still got some. Yeah, look, his tyres still look fresh. So Sober closing in on Liam. He's doing. Oh no, Liam's gone in already. He has gone in already. So has a Groot. That will promote Nano and Maranello up into fourth place. But still, with this strategy, he's already used a quarter of his fuel up, and he's through his tyres. He's 8.4 seconds behind third place Sober, who's still got half a tank of fuel and quite fresh tyres. Noir and Terrace, half a tank of fuel, and his tyres are fine. And GT Racer, half a tank of fuel, his tyres are fine. So Nano Maranello, I'm not sure this strategy is going to work for him. He might have to start trying to do some longer runs and try and pull back them pit stops. Liam Durso then out, 20 seconds behind Nano, and 4 seconds ahead of Groot. Now don't forget, Groot and Liam made great leaps the last pit stops, so we'll keep an eye on those times. GT Racer 55s across the board. He has slipped into the mid 55s. His tyres are half worn. He's got half a tank of fuel, and we're 40 minutes into this race now. 2-hour race. These guys have been going full pelt all the way, and I mean, if it's as well, I know we've got a mixture of Americans, Canadians and Dutch, but if it's anything like the heat that we're feeling here in the UK, wow, it must be they must be racing with a fan blowing on them. There, going across the line, GT Racer into the 56s now, and Noir and Terrace. If he's slipping into the 56s, that'll work in Nano Maranello's hands, indeed. That's what he was hoping, I feel. Big drop-off from these drivers. It doesn't look like it's happening, though. They're maintaining decent lap times with used tyres. Sober, and I think you can see Nano in the background there, all over the curbs, thrashing his Corvette, trying to gain ground. He's 26 and a half seconds off the leader, which is less than a pit stop, but these guys won't need to make a stop for a while yet. Liam at Thurso, 20 odd seconds behind Nano and Maranello, 4.6 seconds ahead of Group. Big Mama has picked up a penalty from somewhere, and they seem to be swapping from 58 to 2 minute, 58 to 2 minute in the McLaren, looking after their tyres very nicely indeed. And driving it hard, driving the McLaren hard. GT Racer then 10 seconds lead at the moment. Tyres are starting to wear down. We saw them do a 56 last time around, so the edge might have taken off of the speed of that Corvette with a lack of rubber underneath it. And again, kicking up a bit of soil as it comes around the final corner. Let's see if this is 56 situation. It is. It's 57. So definitely the Corvette losing an edge there as the fuel goes down. Noir and Terrace staying in the 55s is closing now on the Corvettes, and the Beamer seems to have a longevity over the Corvette. So Whippet is that Corvette, but it can't last very long. Sober in the Audi. I'd love to see the Audi get a podium. I'm sure it's already had one, but it's a beast of a car to handle, and Garage 96 has managed to wrangle it around this season with great dedication and entertainment. Nano Maranello is fourth. He's on the sprint. He's on the sprint train. He filled up last time around though, so we're expecting him to go a little longer. He's been pitting every 15 minutes, and we're a minute away from that, but he's got half a tank of fuel, and his tyres are looking okay, so I'd imagine he'd go a little further. Liam at Thurso pitting around the 40-minute mark, second pit stop for another set of softs. He's now 46 seconds off the lead of this race, with Groot just behind him in the other AXR team. Groot posting his fastest personal lap last time around in the Gen X. And I can't really see what action is going to happen next, really, until the next round of pit stops. No one's really in a fighting position. Now Noir is catching with Sober. Nano and Maranello on his sprints. He did a 56.0 last time around though, so maybe he's trying to look after the car a little bit more. 56.1 from Sober, 55.6 from Noir and GT Racer, 56.9, but it's still off his pace. He was doing 55s and he's dropped into the 56, 57s and late 56. So GT Racer, he's not losing too much time to Noir though. I thought the drop time would be dropping like a brick. 56.1 for Noir and Sober, 57.6 there. Big drop off there. The tyres starting to give way, and this is where we'll see Nano Maranello starting to close in now, and he's posted a 56 dead in the last 2 laps. He's 6 seconds away from Sober. Let's get on board and just enjoy the Corvette with Nano Maranello in charge. Oof, chasing down Sober. So it seems I've missed something. Nano Maranello now leading. I imagine GT Racer just made a pit stop. Put on a set of soft tyres. Back out 8.5 seconds behind Nano Maranello with a full tank of fuel. Sober and Groot battling it out for the podium. Sober must have just got out of the pits. Oh, what a terrible time to go for a quick fag. Noir Anteras just pitting, coming out behind Groot. And so what happened to Liam at Thurso? Liam at Thurso losing tons of time there. It doesn't seem like anything really drastic on track. Noir Anteras then behind Groot, who pitted at the 40-minute mark. And has put himself right in the spice of things. Sober coming out at better than Noir. And I thought Liam would have had him beat, but somewhere along the way, it's only how long was I gone for? It was a quick smoke. So Nano Maranello is leading, but his tyres are shocking. They are done, sir. And he's taken this car a fair whack this time around. He filled her up, didn't he? He went at 30 minutes, so he's gone 22, 23 minutes so far in this race, and now he brings her in. And now he's nearly on the same stop as everybody else. I think he's changed his strategy. Sober, pitting, and Groot. He's still got a quarter of a tank of fuel. Halfway through his tyres, he can still mount a very good attack. I think the in-car is this. It's shocking. Oh, that's not too bad. So on board with Groot, Nano Maranello makes his pit stop now. Where's he going to drop down to? Behind Noir, maybe behind Liam. He has been dropping down into 6th place a lot of this race. Across the line, 1.1 seconds slower than his fastest, up into 3rd. Nano Maranello still hasn't appeared from... Oh, he does, comes out 5th behind Noir, ahead of Liam. Oh, he's quite away. Not quite away, it's a second. Oh, it's got nice and tight, hasn't it, since this round of pit stops? All kinds of tight, except for GT Racer. GT Racer is absolutely chugging it out there on the Corvette. What's he on, steroids? The Corvette in GT Racer's hands has been alive for Clockwork. Great race for them. Sober in the Audi in 2nd place after the pit stops. That's great there. Groot, he's going to have to pit in the next 5-6 laps or so. Maybe even less, judging by his front left. Noir Anteras just biding time behind Groot. And the tyres of those, the wheels of that beam are absolutely gorgeous as it goes past. Side view, it glistens even. But Noir pushing that beamer beyond its capabilities, trying to catch up with Groot, who's on the attack with Sober at the moment. Sober just wants to get that Audi around the corner. You saw it sliding away there, but he's got it under control. And that was delicious. That was a lovely controlled slide through that corner. Lost in time, though, because Groot's right there. And Groot now ready to try. Oh, it's the chicane. It's a brave place to try and get a move done. And Sober then says, you can wait, son, until we get to that final corner. That would be a better one. And Sober keeping his car to the inside there, making sure there's no room for Groot to wiggle up the inside. Groot looking like he's sitting back now, waiting for the first corner. He's going to try and get a toe down the straight and get the inside line. And Sober bringing the Audi over to protect the line. Groot saying, okay, I'll go for the long way round. He's going for the apex. He's got, oh, I thought he'd almost pulled up alongside the Sober, but Sober keeping his bases covered there, giving Groot no room to make a manoeuvre. And Groot, he doesn't get the move done pretty soon. He's going to find the BMW knocking on his door. Behind him, Nano Maranello looming large after getting onto their strategy. I don't know, he might not have put as much fuel in. Let's have a look. No, we've gone 3/4. He's picked up a small penalty there, and that will help Liam out there, so out no end. more delicious power sliding from the Audi there we see as it makes its way around. In second place, Nano Maranello, remember, behind these guys, very close behind these guys. Brand new tyres, absolutely raring to go. He's paid his penalty. Liam Thurso hasn't gained on him at all. That's how fast he's going. Noir and Terrace closing in on Groot on those fresher tyres, and Groot now struggling on the tyres that he's got, and it's only a matter of the next braking zone for Noir and Terrace. He's going to be able to brake a lot later than Groot. Look there, you can see Groot struggling through the corner. Noir giving him a little bump to help him through. So there you go, sport. I'll help you out. But inevitable. Although Noir putting the Beamer on the dirty stuff. And now his tyres will be probably as grippy as Groot's at this point, until he wears that dirt back off. And this is great for Sober, pulling out a little gap now, 2 seconds. Groot getting right in Noir and Terrace's way. Maranello catching right up with them. And even Liam Thurso is in sight, but Liam Thurso's tyres are pretty much done. There is someone else in this race, GTR Racer. He's out there in the lead by 18.4 seconds. And he's just put a lap on Big Mama, who's picked up a bit of damage, unfortunately, for Big Mama. And they're getting close to a pit stop, though, with the tyres. So they'll be able to fix that pretty soon. Oh, some shifting and shaking around. What's happened? What has happened? Groot off the track. Groot is off the track. We can try to catch it. So here we are then. Groot there, just ahead of him. And we knew he had no grip on those tyres. The tyres are totally bored. He asked for a little too much sand there, and it sent him off into the scenery. And Groot then asking too much grip from something that was worn out. And Groot, I guess, will be pitting at the end of this lap after that one. GTP Racer still with the flying Sober in second, and now we've got the race between Noir and Maranello. Liam Thurso goes into the pits also, as well as Groot probably will be, and Nano then getting behind the Beamer for a bit of a tow. He's got better grip than the Beamer. No, they've got equal grip on their tyres, and the inside for Nano Maranello, and he makes it stick. Fantastic stuff from the Corvette driver. And now he's got to chase down the Audi, but Noir and Terrace will be staying with him all the way, looking for a way to get by. Nano Maranello really has managed to turn his race around, because I think the strategy he originally started with, probably not the best. And now he's got himself back in there, the rest of the pack's pit stop strategy, and he's in there fighting for third place, maybe second. I think first is out of anyone's reach today. I mean, we're halfway through the race, and it just looks like no one can stop GT Racer. He's 18 seconds ahead of the rest of the field, and he's looking good with tyres and fuel. It's all about if the other Corvette can get back up into second place. That's where it was originally, but started on the sprint strategy, and it lost too much time in the pits. And now we see Noir going for a move. It wasn't quite on, but he's right there with the Corvette. He's giving the Corvette a little nudge out the corner, saying, come on, get a move on. I'm not only racing you, I'm racing Sober, the Audi ahead of us. It's getting further and further away, and Noir getting very, very impatient with the Corvette. He wants to get by, and I feel that Noir might be feeling he's losing time to Sober out there. And Nano Maranello still in third place and gets to pull away from the Beamer out of the final corner. GT Racer 20 seconds in the lead now, with Sober in the Audi, looking strong in second place on the same strategy as those around him. Liam Thurso, after his pit stop, back out, and Groot also making a pit stop, and they're both in fifth and sixth. Big Mama recently making a stop, fixing the damage, and getting now in that funky car to smash some more times here at the Nürburgring. Did I say it right? I'm going to say Nürburgring. just starting a lap. Let's get on board with Big Mama. This is the one. This is going to be their fastest lap of the race so far. Onto the brakes, into the apex. That's it. Keep it around. Then swing it back to the right on that apex, onto the curve, flooring it all the way down to your braking points. Dabbing those brakes are roughly there. Oh, well, a bit later than I would. And then cruise her through. Down here, heavy braking onto that apex. Wait for her to straighten up, slam on the accelerator all the way down here. That's the one. Beautiful stuff. Looking for your braking points. Heavy on the brakes, dab her around. Ooh, in second gear. Lovely stuff. The McLaren cornering lovely there. Out wide onto the curves, flooring it again. Up the hill, only 3/10 off of your fastest lap so far. You can do this, Big Mama. Oh, and asking for too much on the chicane uphill, and losing that time then. So GT Racer 20 seconds in the lead, Sober 6 seconds ahead of Nano Maranello, and Nano Maranello still under immense pressure from Noir and Terrace. Whoa, the back end of the Beamer stepping away from him as Nano Maranello floors it down the straight, trying to make his escape. Nano Maranello's tyres wearing in, roughly the same as Noir's, and Sober. The Audi does wear the tyres a little harder than the cars behind him, but he's pulled out 5.7 seconds. Remember when these guys were only about 2 seconds behind Sober, so their racing is played very well into Sober's hands. Excuse me. So it looks like Sober might get himself a cheeky second place out of this, because Nano Maranello and Noir and Terrace get themselves into a little on-track duel. You can see lap 30, 59, lap 31 at 58. Nano Maranello dropping into the 57s for those laps. So, yeah, with their little bicker for a couple of laps, they've cost themselves a fair few seconds on Sober. Although Sober's tyres now starting to degrade rather swiftly, that he's going to be dropping time. He's already done a 56.1. He's always been around that 56 area, I suppose. Did a couple of 55s, but they were late 55s. Noir, he can get very well. He's done a 54.8. One of his. Oh, Noir's ahead of Maranello. I'm sorry. Looks like Maranello again missing a line somewhere, and has put Noir and Terrace up into third place. This battle between these two has been absolutely delicious. I know I keep cutting away from it, and maybe I shouldn't. Liam at third, so 8 seconds ahead of Groot, and all's quiet there. There's nothing to report. This is the actual fight. These two, that I believe they're both faster than the Audi ahead of them. On you know, a clean, clear lap. I think the Beamer and the Corvette. Well, the Corvette is definitely the OP car to be on today. On GT Racer's hands, he's absolutely blown the field away. 20 seconds ahead. He's got no reason to push now. He's just he's clocking in the 56s. Well, no, he's only just done a 56. It's all mainly 55s. He's got control of this race. He's letting it all unfold. There's 54 minutes left of the race to go, and GT Racers 20 seconds ahead, and he doesn't owe a pit stop. He's no lesser than anyone else. And Noir and Terrace now in the Beamer. I think the Corvette's starting to tear the tyres up, maybe, but the Beamer definitely managing to pull away from the Corvette. Corvette yet to pay the penalty, unless that's a new penalty. So 8.5 seconds ahead of Groot. Nothing looking like it's going to change there much, and it's Nano Maranello's going to lose even more time to Noir and Terrace. He's gone up to a second now. He's really pushing hard. Is Nano? Calm down, Nano. No. Nano throwing it off. Calm down. Calm your boots. Cool your boots. Speedy Man Charlie, get on the radio with him. Tell him he's got to cool down. Cool down, lad. You're driving angry. You're pushing. You've turned your race around. You've done the job. You might not be able to win this one, but a podium was on. the cards, and he's slowly throwing it away. And Liam at Thurso, he may be 30 seconds behind, but a couple of offs, and you'll find yourself already 11 seconds behind Noir and Terrace just from that small excursion. Calm down, Nano. Chill, man. Chill, man. You know. He's trying to get the dirt off his tyres, or is he sending me a message saying he's calm now? Come on, man. You know what to do. Dig deep. Dig deep. Point at the apexes. Find your braking zones. Stay calm. GT Racer at the moment, though, leads this race by 21.3 seconds. And Clockwork must be absolutely thrilled with the work he has put in. He is having an astonishing race with Sober in second place, some 5 seconds ahead of the Beamer of Noir. So Noir already creeping into Sober's lead that he's built up there. Sober in the 56s, mid 56s. Noir still managing 55s in the BMW. Amazing pace by the BMW driver Nano Marinello. 13 seconds adrift of Noir now, and only 21 seconds ahead of Liam at Thurso. So Nano, and he's on a quarter of a tank less fuel than Liam. So Nano now might be having to look over his shoulder at that 5th place, rather than he was racing for a podium not 2 laps ago. GT Racer crossing the line, starting lap 36. And we are nearly 67 minutes into this race, with 51 minutes left on the clock. GT Racer got pole, has led pretty much, apart from pit stops, all the way, and hasn't managed fastest lap though. The other Corvette has the fastest lap, so GT Racer at the moment on 4. A great party after this. Sober in second place. Wasn't expecting that. Sober was there for 5th place on the outskirts, looking like he was he could pick up something here, and he has. He's in second place. He's losing time to the Beamer. His tyres are going away from him, but I don't know. The Beamer still has it, I think, over the Audi, but the Audi has track position, but his rear tyres again, those rear tyres for Sober has been a nightmare. Nano Marinello back on it again, had a rough lap, lost a lot of time to Noir, but he's got his head back together now. He's back in the game, and he sent a little hope to Liam at Thurso. And now he's going to slowly try and pull away from the Aston Martin and get himself back. I mean, 50 minutes of racing still to go. Anything can happen. And that Corvette is swift as hell. It could still get back in the fight. We've seen him change his strategy once already to get into the same strategy as the pack. And he's done a super job. And he was in that podium battle, but just had a rough couple of corners. Slipped back, and now he's getting back into the groove, should we say. GT Racer, what can we say? He's not put a foot wrong, has he? He's not been pressured either. Yeah, at the very beginning of the race, maybe Nano Marinello behind him, but he's slowly and surely just pulled away from Nano Marinello. He pulled up a lovely lead on the rest of the pack, and he's had an absolutely beautiful drive, it's got to say. He's just done everything that he's needed to do, and maybe some would argue that the Corvette was a little better here, but you've got to pilot the bad boy, and I imagine that is not easy. Sober then in the Audi, smashing it at the moment, but he's losing every time I come back. It seems to be a second less between him and Noir. Noir at 56.0 last time around, Sober 56.9. And Sober has to make a decision on when that pit stop's going to happen. He's still... I'm getting all of the chats again. That is so weird. Why does it keep repeating everything? Sober then fighting with the rear end of that Audi, I imagine. And Noir and Terrace tearing up the ground between him and Sober. He's pulled away from Nano, even though Nano have lost about 11 seconds on a single. Oh, and he's... Oh, no. Calm your thoughts. Nano is on the rickety edge. He is pushing that Corvette to every little inch that it's got, and Liam at Thurso sitting behind him, 56 on the reg, and Nano pushing so hard he might just lose the position to the Aston Martin. Groups closed in by about a second. Speedy Man Charles is Nano's teammate, says, God damn it. He's alright, he's back on it again now. The tyres are pretty old, you see. He's had that Corvette, he's done a long stint, and he's been on it out quite a while. I think he's probably ready to get some fresh rubber. Sober's decided to make a pit stop, those rear tyres. He was losing a lot of time to Noir and Terrace, and now Noir and Terrace back into second place, and it's clockwork as they qualified, I believe, first. And was it? No, I think the Corvette, I can't remember, it was so long ago. But it's clockwork on top again. Nano Maranello now up into third place, but his fuel is flashing. Sober just behind him, full tanks, brand new softs, and Liam at Thurso 7 seconds behind Sober. This is beautiful. It's tight. Groot's lost a chunk of time on that last lap, 3 seconds virtually on Liam at Thurso. Now it's up to 10 seconds. Sober 6.5 seconds in fourth ahead of Liam at Thurso. There's only 6 seconds between Sober and Nano, and Nano's got a pit. His fuel's low, and Noir and Terrace, he's still got a bit of fuel, but I think he's going to be pitting in the next lap or two. GT Racer, he'll probably be ready for a pit stop, but he's wiggling away. And yes, for sure, GT Racer should be ready for a pit stop anytime soon. But I think he's going to pit and come out back. Maybe he's waiting for the BMW because he wants to guarantee his pit stop and back in the lead again. Noir and Terrace, though, God's sake, he's going to pit. I think they're all going to pit at the end of this lap, except for Sober. And he's not going to catch GT Racer, but he could be back up into second place. Liam at Thurso, I don't know where he's going to end up. He's out of sync with his pits, but he's still got half a tank of fuel left, so he'll be going for a couple of laps yet, and he'll be mixed up in the middle of it all. Interesting stuff. Well, Noir's gone round again. Oh, I bet he's regretting that. But yeah, Noir, he's taking it another lap. It's getting murky out there. Now, I don't want to be alarmist. Now, Nano Maranello's come in, and maybe he doesn't have the fuel to go around again. I don't want to be alarmist, and they've got better radars in their vehicles. No, the sky's still pretty blue in it. It was looking bleak, in my opinion. It is looking grey just above the stadium, I'm sure of it. Now, I don't want to raise alarm bells, and like I said, they have proper radars inbuilt in the car. They know exactly what's going on. They know where the rain is and when it comes. But from a spectator's eye, I think there's some grey clouds gathering. Oh no, it's sunny there, isn't it? Alright, hush my mouth, it's gone back to being sunny again. GT Racer ready for a pit stop anytime soon, as is Noir and Terrace. And Speedy Motorsports up to third now. Liam at Thurso up to fourth. Group fifth, with Nano Maranello having to make his stop, coming out sixth, 8 seconds behind. And it's really glorious sun. It really looked bleak for a minute there, but now it's got really sunny again, so hush my mouth. Big Mama in 7th place, and smashing it every lap. Beautiful stuff. Is this going to be a good one? We're just sitting with it. This is going to be one of their fastest. Not quite 2/10 off of their fastest. And that is, at the moment, what Big Mama is aiming for. GT Racer into the pits. Will Noir and Terrace pit as well? He does. Sober, is he going to get that second place from Noir and Terrace? That is the question here. Liam at Thurso, when will he pit? He's got a quarter of a tank, but we saw the Aston Martin does not like a used set of tyres, and those tyres are starting to look rather used. Sober then coming up to the chicane. GT Racer should easily be back out in the lead. And the dominance of car 90 in this race has been superlative. Noir Antares, though, may be under threat from Sober. Sober was second before the rounds of pit stops, and it looks like Sober is going to get his second place back. Liam at Thurso only 5 or so seconds behind. Noir Antares looks like he's been released now. Is he going to stay ahead of Liam? Liam's coming down the straight. Noir looks like he has got out of the pit lane ahead of Liam, and Sober back into second place, but it's 1.5 seconds between the two of them, and their tyres both fairly fresh, and the fuel tanks virtually the same. Liam at Thurso then 3.7 seconds behind, but his tyres are old, and we're seeing that shuffle from the Aston Martin saying that it's not happy in the corners. Groot as well with the Gen X loves to tear us. It is the tyre tearer, the Gen X tyre tearer, and Groot there ripping up another set of soft tyres. Nano Maranello into the pits and back out again, 8 seconds behind Groot. Liam and Groot will be pitting in the next 5 or 6 minutes, so that'll be a couple of positions, and then he's got to work on Noir, but Noir 1.7 seconds behind Sober. Sober under immense pressure. We saw that the Audi isn't as fast as the BMW over a lap, so Sober is going to have to defend in the next couple of laps, as I imagine the Beamer will be all up and in his business, if you know what I mean. Liam at Thurso, 4th place, but tyres very old. Quarter of a tank of fuel, 9.7 seconds ahead of Groot, whose fuel is now flashing. Nano Maranello then will not have to worry about the Gen X anytime soon, as it will be pitted, and behind him, and there goes Liam as well. Liam into the pits, and that'll be a couple of positions for Nano, and we'll see what distance he is then from Noir Antares. But Liam was closing in on Nano, so this could be tight. Nano coming around that final corner, and Liam then is not even at his blocks yet, so ooh, Nano's picked up a little bit of damage there on the Corvette, on the front right corner. He's picked up damage. This could be shocking for Nano Maranello. They're working on Liam's car. They've sent him out, and how far behind Nano is he? Nano carrying that damage, and we can only guess how much that'll put him off the pace from Liam at Thurso. 11 seconds. Interesting. We'll have to wait and see. So we're waiting for Nano Maranello's time to come in. It's 2 seconds, not to come in, but when he gets across the line, see how much he's losing. 2 seconds in that stint, in that sector, from that damage that he's carrying. Because Liam at Thurso is only 10 seconds behind him. If he's dropping a second, 2 seconds a lap, he's coming in to fix it. He's coming in to fix it. Oh gosh. Poor fat Speedy Man Charles. If you're still out there, Speedy, go and have a lay down. Nano then coming in to fix that damage. Liam at Thurso gets the position.
Good luck to everyone. Too bad we can't race today.
And GT Racer then
Let's go now.
leads this way, 22.7 seconds ahead of Sober. Sober having to fight off a Noir Antares. We said it was coming. We knew Noir in the BMW was slightly faster than Sober, and he has closed up on him now. And this is the battle for second place. We've got 38 minutes left. It's 37 and a half now because I fell over my words for about 20 seconds. But 37 and a half minutes left of this race. And these two, similar strategy. I mean, the Audi's having to pick... I thought the Beamer had gone onto the dirt. Something went. Crazy times there. Look at them, nearly side by side. And I don't know, Sober looked like he'd gone a little wheel on the grass, but I thought the Beamer had as well. And now they're coming up alongside each other. And Noir Antares gets the position rather easily into the chicane, I'm afraid to say. And Sober maybe just didn't want that hassle. Maybe he's thinking of points, championship points, rather than losing time. And they've got 36 seconds from Liam at Thurso. Groot is 10 seconds behind, and Nano Maranello having to... Oh, he's got another penalty. Nano Maranello having to go in and fix some damage now. Has got some business to get on with some fastest laps and catching ups. And there's still plenty of time in this race. It's not a done deal. GT Racer, 23.5 second lead at the moment. It is a domination of the Clockwork Vertex team, absolutely destroying the rest of the field here at the Nürburgring. Noir not out of it yet, because Sober looking like he's feisty and still wants that position from the BMW. It does look like there's different parts of the track. They're faster than each other. Like at the end of the track, I think the Audi is a little stronger, and maybe in the middle of the track. But the Beamer really does get upon her down the straights, I think. So we'll see. But
I'm gonna have to tear ass during my stint.
someone said in my ear all about something to do with a stint, but there's nothing on the chart. Sober then, trying to chase down that BMW. And ignore, I don't know if you can know, it doesn't show you the fuel thing, does it? Yeah, you see it as well. It's ridiculous, I don't know, it seems to be a glitch from the last patch. I don't think you see it in the car, I think it's just a spectator. For some reason you see the please refuel. I could blag it and say, oh, that's just a way of showing you where the pit entrance is. Speedy Man Charles saying, pull out an angry comeback drive. He's doing all right. I'm trying to stay away from him. I don't want, in case he was still angry. I was leaving him to it. 9/10. He's getting back on track. 8.4 seconds behind Groot. And Groot's 9.7 seconds behind Liam at Thurso. Then there's a huge gap to Sober. And Sober right there in Noir and Terrace, giving Noir and Terrace really a headache that you could do without. You could do with just chunking down and getting some lap times in and hope that GT Racer throws it. I think we've seen him like last lap situations throw it off the track. So but at the moment GT Racer 23.5 second lead on his teammate Noir and Terrace. Then we've got Sober in the Audi Garage 96, picking up some great points with a podium there. They could even get second place, we don't know, but the tyre wear on the Audi a lot worse. Big Mama coming into the pits. Damage for Big Mama coming in to fix a bit of damage. Nano Maranello, another penalty. There's a part of this track that him and the GT algorithm do not agree with it being part of the track or not part of the track. But Nano Maranello, 8.7 seconds. It's a long road, my friend. It's a long road. We've still got 33 minutes to try and get back into this race. Noir pulls away. Oh, Nano, salt in the wound or what? Just loses his fastest lap to the BMW driver. Noir Antares pulling out a 54.3, leaving a Sober somewhat quizzical about how can he race the Beamer when it does a 54.3. Unbelievable lap from Noir Antares there, and strikes fear into the hearts of the other competitors. Sober then, maybe reluctantly coming to the conclusion that he is racing for third place, and he's got 36 seconds to cover off from Liam at Thurso. Liam at Thurso, similar fuel loads, less tyre wear. Groot then maintaining the same distance from Liam at Thurso in 5th place, and he's 11 seconds, and this is really unfortunate for Scuderia Chiara, because they could have picked up mucho points here. I think 2nd place was definitely on the cards with that Corvette, and yeah, that would have done that would have been fantastic for the championship. I think 3rd in the championship, so that would have been a huge boost in their championship campaign, yeah, against Clockwork Apex. Noir Antares, of all people, who's just taken the lap time away from them. They're 9 points behind Clockwork Apex, and this race has not gone well. They had the Beamer easily beat early doors in this race, although the Beamer has absolutely come to life in the second hour of this race. It's taken a while to warm in, but it is absolutely flying now. Sober for Garage 96. They could do with the points. They're fighting AXR, and they're ahead of them at the moment. I mean, there's 31 points, but we've still got, what, 3 rounds left of this championship? 2 rounds? I'm not sure. I know we've got some cracking tracks coming up. I take the mick out of this track. I haven't, though. Come on. I could have been so much worse about Nürburgring. I just said it was next door. I just said it was the neighbour of a very interesting track. I'm surprised for a 4-hour race. But I know Northern Schleswig spreads them out, but it's fun to see them go round. Yeah, we've got some cracking ones. I think we've got Road Atlantic next, and then we're finishing with Interlagos. Love Interlagos. I think it's a cracking little track. So GT Racer leads this race, 22 seconds. So Noir Antares is pulling in a little bit of time. Maybe he's banking on GT Racer doing something ridiculous on the final lap and losing the positions. And let's face it, the Noir could do with the points more than Clockwork. Although Clockwork only, 5 points behind Nano Maranello, Scuderia. So, or Scuderia. Maybe it's Scuderia. Maybe that's what I'm saying wrong. Scuderia Chiara. But yeah. So GT Racer getting the win. They may overtake Scuderia Chiara. GT Racer then 22 seconds ahead of his teammate Noir Antares. Sober in a solid 3rd place. Then we have AXR, Liam at Thurso. I don't think he is AXR actually. I think he's just AequepaX Racing. In the Aston Martin, and Groot in the Gen X for AXR. And they're gonna lose points on Garage 96. Like I said, it's 31 points, but every point counts. And Nano Maranello, it's going to be a big hit to their 3rd place in the championship. What with Clockwork Vertex and Clockwork Apex being the 2 teams he's racing, and they're in 1st and 2nd at the moment. But let's not write off Nano Maranello. Still got a good amount of time to go in this race. Anything can happen. The other Corvette slicing And I mean, Noir and Terrace is catching, but really, what would GT Racer get for pushing any harder? He's doing 55s. Come on, that has been pretty much the baseline of the lap times here today. 55s, 56s. As soon as it creeps into the 57s, they seem to change the tyres back into the 55s. The very fast ones manage to get 54s once in a while. Noir and Terrace there in the 55s. He has been pretty swift all the way through, but he's had to fight himself through some traffic, and that Beamer has seen some action today. It's been absolutely cracking. Great racing from Noir and Terrace. Could be the driver of the day with all the action we've seen from him. Sober, solid drive in an Audi, which I don't think is as fast as some of the cars it's ahead of. So great drive from Sober, solid drive, consistent, and it's not over obviously, and I imagine he's still eyeing up that second place probably, but his tyre wear is just too high. I believe his tyre wear is just too high to be able to keep up with the BMW. Liam at Thurso, 36 seconds is probably too much now to ask to catch up with Sober. The Aston Martin has struggled with tyre wear this race we've seen so far. The front left tyre has definitely been taking a pounding around here at Nürburgring. Groot, every tyre on that Gen X has been taken. It's the tyre terror. The tyre terror. The Gen X tyre terror. They should have swapped cars. But what would they have swapped to, eh? Would have been just something as bad. Maranello, oh, what can we say about Nano Maranello's race? He's fast. It was probably, we will never know. We'll not know if second place was guaranteed. He couldn't keep up with GT Racer early doors in the race. That was a sure given. GT Racer was pulling away, and Nano tried to do a sprint style strategy after 15 minutes coming in, just changing tyres, getting back out again. 15 minutes later going in, changing tyres, putting in more fuel, but that was losing him way too much time on the rest of the field. So he altered his strategy, stayed out longer, and he was on the same strategy as the cars ahead of him. He was there in the fight with them, with Noir and Terrace, but one or two mistakes. I think he's angry with the track. He keeps picking up little penalties, which I truly believe, seeing the way he drives over the season, he's not a corner cutter. He's not one to try and cut a corner. So I believe he feels like in his mind he's probably feeling these penalties are unjust, unfair, and I think it's got in his head a little bit, and he started driving very angry, really slamming the Corvette into the corners, and just lost so much time over the course of just 2 laps, and then damaged the car after a pit stop, having to go in and fix it. And that is the story of Nano Maranello in 6th place, when we're an hour and 36 minutes into the race, 24 minutes to go, and he's got a lot of ground to make up still, and at the moment he's not really cutting into Groot's times whatsoever, but Groot's picked up a second penalty, so costing him big, and that will help Nano Maranello. GT Racer absolutely floored it this race, hands down. Great drive, flawless drive, one would say. Don't do it now. His tyres are starting to wear, 1/4 of a tank of fuel, and we could be seeing the last pit stops coming up in the next 2-3 minutes. I'd say a couple of these probably coming in for the last time. Sober, his rear tyres almost gone already, and that has been the story of Sober's race. There he goes. And could he get himself an undercut here? I don't know why it keeps reading the same messages to me.
I'm gonna have to tear ass during my stint. Pull out an angry comeback drive.
So Sober comes in now. Will that give him the undercut on Noirs? Possibly. He possibly could get out and get some good laps in. But the Beamer is so swift. GT Racer, nothing to worry about there. And we saw that GT Racer and Noir were the two that hung it out the longest. So Liam at Thurso, he's not looking for a pit stop just yet. Sober, oh, he might have to get into a tangle with Liam. Liam's coming down the pit lane, but no, I think Sober out and into third place. No concerns. Got to clear Big Mama, who's in 7th, but Big Mama has pulled over and out of the way of Sober as Sober zooms through in 3rd. Liam not too far behind him, but he hasn't got the tyres to go and bring that fight to the Audi. He's barely got the tyres to get around that buggering corner. And Groot also having tyre woes, and Nano Maranello really is starting to gain big time on Groot. Groot did a 59 last time around. That's how much he's struggling with those tyres. And he's obviously trying to get that car to a certain point so he can do a nice run at the end. I'm surprised any of them are waiting much longer. 20 minutes, I suppose. They were managing to get like 30, well, not quite 30 minutes, but 25 minutes on the tyres. And the sun stayed sure for us all. And it did get a bit grey, a bit dull. I don't think that helped Nano as well. It seemed when it was the track was at its coolest, he got at his hottest. So maybe he lost grip during that time. But at the moment, he's trying to catch up with Groot, but Groot is giving his head a wobble. He's back on the pace again. And Nano struggling to catch up with him. Liam at Thurso, still a crate going on. He's 6.2 seconds behind Sober, but he's got to pit. He's going to have to. And there's Groot picking up another second penalty. That will help at Nano Maranello. He'll love a bit of that. And there goes Liam. He's gone in. I couldn't see any point staying out with the tyres if they're stuffed. And there's only 20 minutes left for the race. It seems like a no-brainer. There goes Groot into the pits. Now Nano Maranello, how much? He's going in as well. Nano's going to have to go in for a top-up. Interesting. We've got a lovely three-way battle down the back there. GT Racer and Noir, they were the last two to pit last time around. Noir does need to pit though, and this is interesting. Has Sober done enough to get the undercut done? And will he be in second place? And Noir have to fight him for the second place. It's the big question. That's what we've had after most of the pit stops. The Beamer does have the wheels on the Audi. It's got a bit of a better pace around the track, but the Audi has had an amazing strategy so far this evening, and it's it'll be interesting to see who comes on top. GT Racer leads from Noir and Terrace, and they're running the fuel down as low as they possibly. I think Noir is going to be in this time around. GT Racer's gone past, and Noir does come into the pit lane, and it's all eyes on Sober. Liam's made his pit stop, 14 seconds ahead of Groot, who's 4 seconds ahead of Nano. They've all made their pit stops. Sober is the man. Can he take second place back from Noir? Has Noir done enough to stay ahead of the Audi? And the Audi is pretty far away, but Noir's only just got to his box, and they're working on the car now as Sober goes through the chicane in the Audi. This is probably the last bit of action. Maybe Nano might be able to catch Groot before the end of the race, but this is the last bit of action on track, and Noir gets out. Noir did enough to stay in second place, and he does not have to fight the Audi on track. Great drive from Noir and Terrace, and Sober there looks like it's a definite podium for the Garage 96 team. Liam at Thurso, 14 seconds ahead of Groot. Groot's picked up another second penalty, a 1 second penalty for Groot. He's only 4.4 seconds ahead of Nano Maranello, and there from Nano Maranello's sights you can see the black Gen X AXR team car looming larger and larger as we crawl closer and closer together in the Corvette. And I imagine Nano Maranello will be inconsolable at the end of this race. No words will make him feel better after what should have been a definite podium, a possible second place, and I don't need to rub it in. And there we see GT Racer only just coming into the pits, nearly a lap ahead of the other Corvette, not to rub it in. But, sorry, no. Just don't watch it back, man. I imagine if you're not happy with the race, you wouldn't want to watch it back. So, Nano Maranello then 2 seconds off of Groot, is getting closer and closer. This is the closest battle we've got on track. I know the leader is into the pits, but I don't think there's any fear of him losing the lead unless he throws away the lead. And will he? Will he do the team thing and let the Apex team by? So GT Racer out of the pits into the lead. Noir comes across in second place, way ahead of Sober now, 7 seconds. Then we've got Liam at Thurso, 16 seconds ahead of Groot. And the closest battle we have on track is the Corvette versus the Genesis X. It's just a clean run to the flag. 16.5 minutes left of the first part of the race. Don't forget, as soon as this stream finishes, another stream will start. And I think it's got a commentator. I don't know if it'll be a good old Stig. I think he's gone to Le Mans. Well, I heard he's in France. So I don't know who you're going to get the delectable tones of in the next stream, but I believe there will be a stream. And yeah, you guys can look forward to the second part of this race. I think there's some other guys able to turn up for that one, so there should be a bigger field. But Groot then, only 1.6 seconds ahead of Nano Maranello, does a 56.3 that last time around, 55.7 from the Corvette. Liam Thurso has done a beautiful job in that Aston Martin. It has destroyed its tyres wherever it can, and he's had to stick with it, and he's dragged it into 4th place. Sober, a podium that I never thought he could get in that Audi. I thought it was too skittish and had a mind of its own, but he's done a super job so far. 15 minutes left of racing, and he's 7.5 seconds behind Noir Antares. Noir Antares, it's a simple drive all the way to the line. I can't see what could go wrong for any of the top 3, 4th maybe. Groot's the one that's in danger here from a very nippy, very fast Nano Maranello trying to catch up with the Groot. His last time around. Over the curves he goes. Keep the Corvette under control, under acceleration, coming out of the corner. And the Group all right down the straight. It's not too bad for the Genesis X. Genesis X, quite a swift car, over a lap. It's just tyre wear, and at the moment they're early into this session, so tyre wear shouldn't be a big issue for Groot at this point. It does look like there's certain parts of the track where the Corvette just sweeps the Genesis X under the carpet. Look at it, 1.2 or 1.5 seconds at the beginning of the lap, and every corner. Corvette seems to pull in a little extra on the Gen. Ooh, yellow flag. Yeah, that might be Big Mama pulling over, maybe. Yeah, Big Mama either had an off. Yeah, I think had an off. But helpfully got out of the way. GT Racers picked up a 1 second penalty. Noir and Terrace, though, 19 seconds adrift of the lead, and pulled out another second on Sober, who's 36 seconds ahead of the Aston Martin. He's 13.5 seconds, and there you go. Groot's pulled out his fastest lap of the race, and he knows he's being pursued by Nano and Maranello. So Groot having to push the Gen into the 55s. We've seen him mainly staying in the 56s, probably trying to look after the tyres and stick to a Delta. And yeah, he's had to push harder than he may have liked, and that Nano may be trying to push Groot's tyres. Whoa, but Nano's Corvette is lively, very lively. So GT Racer 17.2 second lead, 11.5 minutes to go. Noir and Terrace, a nice steady drive. He's had to fight his way into that second place, but by Jove, he's got there. Sober, a solid drive for the Audi, and getting himself a possible podium ahead of Liam at Thurso in the Aston Martin. And that Aston Martin has not been kind to its tyres this race. Groot fighting with everything he's got to try and keep the Genesis X ahead of Nano Maranello, who is bringing it with great gusto. What? Oh, there's me. Like, what? Although Groot's pulled a little bit more out on Nano there. So we're still with Nano Maranello chasing down Groot. It's down to a second again. These two are swaying. They're in a little dance together. Din din, din din, din 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 din. Doing like a tango. GT Racer 16.8 seconds, but he's putting his fastest lap in at the moment. Noir and Terrace. We're down to just under 9 minutes left of this first race of round 6. And yes, it's been a corker. Sober is maintaining that third place ahead of Liam. And Liam at the moment bringing the Aston Martin home. Groot's got no chance of catching him, but Groot's had to pick up the pace. And he's picked up a penalty from somewhere. I don't know where. But he's picked up a penalty, and where do they pay that? Down the straight? My word, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt Groot a lot. Nano Maranello is just going to breeze by, and I don't know where the penalty paying area is, but it's going to cost him more than a second, and my word, what a shame that a penalty is what's going to cost us of a great racing. It was great racing, and yeah. That's it, it's going to be easy for Nano now. Oh, what a shame, the only race that we had on the board. And yeah, And I bet you it was nothing. I've never liked the penalty system in GT Sport and GT7. We race without. We do a gentleman's honour, people. We expect people to race between the lines, don't cheat. But it gives you a penalty. Our issue is it gives you a penalty when you go off. You make a mistake, it costs you time, and you get a penalty. It's unfair. It's if it was a fair system, it'd be fine. It's not. Where am I going? I want to go down. So we've not got to the penalty staging area yet, have we? No. And he's had to really chug it to pull away from Nano Maranello. Nearly 2 seconds. It was 1 second. It keeps flashing, but I don't think. Here he comes then. Nano Maranello, not far behind, 1.8 seconds behind. Group's having to go slow for a second. And Nano Maranello now is in half a second, 4 tenths, 3 tenths, 2 tenths. And it's just, oh, he can't quite make the move on Group, but it's very close now. And Group somehow managed to save that position from that penalty. Unbelievable driving from Group right there. 6 minutes to go, but now he's got a very much faster Corvette on his rear derriere, and he could do without that nightmare coming to the end of the race. Just bringing it home sometimes is just what you want to do at the end of a race, and now he is going to have to defend. He's going to have to make that Gen X so wide and just stop Nano any way he can. But Nano is on fire. Apart from about 2 laps this race, he has been on it. GT Racer 20 seconds. Noir, has he lost time? A 58 from Noir there. So Noir losing a bit of time on that lap. Nothing to worry about though. He's got 8 seconds on Sober, unless it's something that's is ailing him for the rest of the race. Let's have a look at this lap. See if it was just a blip or if it's an issue that he's finding. A 55.3, so it was just a blip and nothing to be concerned about. And Sober though hopes he gets a couple more blips. Liam at Thurso, nothing to worry about with Groot, and Groot, that half a second battle between him and Nano, the Gen X, is starting to burn through its tyres. 5 minutes left to what, 2, maybe 3 laps if they cross the line in the lucky place. 58 laps on the board at the moment. GT Racer's on his 59th lap. So is Noir Antares. Sober is on his 59th lap with Liam at Thurso yet to cross the line. AXR Groot and Nano Maranello still dicing for that 5th and 6th place. And this is it. Nano Maranello in the tow, coming down the straight. And Group moving over. It's his lead. He can choose the line. He chooses to defend. It's going to cost him time come the apex. Nano Maranello going for the wide line around. He's hoping to cut underneath Group, but he just can't quite do it. And the Genesis X gets out of the corner a little swifter than Nano would have liked. And Nano got in a wiggle on coming down the hill. And it's going to be a battle all the way to the checkered flag. No, it's not, because Group's lost the back end of the car. And Nano Maranello is through, and the tyres bit him, I believe. Possibly, I don't think there was contact. I think that was tyres. Yeah, he lost it under acceleration before he even got to the corner, I'm afraid. And now he's picked up a bit of damage. And Group, I imagine he's going to drive with the damage to the finish line. But exciting stuff for us. GT Racer 20 seconds in the lead. Noir Antares back into the 55s. That 58 was but a mere blip on an otherwise perfect, look at that, perfect 55s, except for that 58. He'll be kicking himself. Sober, solid drive. Rudolph in the chat saying, Liam, why, what's he done? What's he done? Why is he was 15 seconds ahead. Oh no, Liam, what did you do? And Nano is right on his case now, and Nano is going to end up getting good points out of this. He's up there already. Oh, it's too late to press replay. What happened? Poor Liam. And so, no idea what happened to him. Oh dear. So Liam at Thurso, 15 seconds. He was at least 14 seconds ahead of the Groot Nano Maranello battle. And suddenly, he's got Nano Maranello, and Nano Maranello has not gone that ridiculously fast. He did a 59.6 that last time around, a 56.9 before that. Liam at Thurso, a 2.12. Oh, the back end of the Aston Martin wiggling around. It's got to be tyre wear. That Aston Martin has not looked happy on its last few laps, on all of its stints, and it's kicked him. It's kicked him hard with a 2.12. He must have spun it out somewhere. Looks like he's got the traction on now, trying to help him out. Nano Maranello all in. And yeah, Liam at Thurso is fighting that Aston Martin to get it around the corners as best he possibly can. And he's got a little traction control there helping him through. Sober is a solid 55 seconds ahead of this battle. So Nano Maranello, I mean, it looked like 6th place for him not that long ago. We've only got a minute on the clock. And Liam's going to have to fight for everything he's got here to try and keep Nano Maranello in the very swift Corvette behind him. And it doesn't look like that Corvette is in any mood to be staying behind Liam. But Liam definitely got tyre wear issues there, I think. It's that front left again that's really giving the Aston Martin a bit of jip. 45 seconds on the clock. These two might just squeeze another lap. Well, yeah, ooh, I don't know, it'll be tight. They might just squeeze another lap out of this one. Yeah, they should get another lap out of this one easily. Sorry, it's not tight at all. So these two will be starting another lap. I think the other guys will all be finishing on the next lap. Oh no, Nano Maranello has spun it out. Oh my word, indeedly doodly. And Liam at Thurso will be sighing a huge sigh of relief. Would you, Adam and Eve? And Groot is back in the action. And the clock hasn't run out, so Groot gets another lap. Big Mama, we got the leader coming around here. Now the clock is out. This is it. It's the flag. And it's GT Racer coming around for total domination. He didn't get fastest lap, but he got pole. He got the win, and he led pretty much every lap. Noir and Terrace bringing it home for second place. Groot is 1.5 seconds behind Nano Maranello. Groot's got damage. Nano Maranello's got damage. It's crazy stuff. Noir and Terrace comes around the final corner to grab a Clockwork Racing legendary status 1 and 2. Fantastic stuff. Sober in the Audi. The tyres at the rear end of that car are screaming, and Liam at Thurso still ahead of Nano. And Sober, take a boo, my son. Big Mama comes across the line. Not quite yet, but Big Mama doing all sorts of... we ain't got time for that, Big Mama, I'm sorry. Liam at Thurso, how did he manage? How did he manage that? The Corvette throwing itself off of the track on the curbs. And Liam at Thurso, that 4th place was not yours, my friend. You dodged a bullet there. And great drive, amazing stuff. So Liam, he's miles away from the line, wasn't he? Is Nano under pressure? Not really. So Liam comes home. Oh, there's a yellow flag for some reason. There's no one off the track because everyone's crossed the line. So I don't know what that yellow flag's for. So Liam brings it around to grab 4th place. Nano Maranello coming around. What is the yellow flags for? What if someone was racing? That's ridiculous. 5th place for Nano, and Groot grabbing himself 6th. With no fuel, he's cruising across the line. So Groot just about getting to the line. But it was this man today. GT Racer, take a boo. What a race from the Corvette driver. There he goes, celebrating. Oh, it's Clockwork Motorsports, sorry, not racing. Great drive, GT Racer. We'll have a quick look at those results with GT Racer 22 in the Corvette C7 Group 3, finishing with a 2 hours and, what was that, 10 seconds? And his teammate Noir Anteras coming home 20 seconds down the road in second place in the BMW. Sober rounding out the podium for Garage 96. And then Liam at Thurso getting that fourth place. Oof, I don't know what he did, but he put himself in right jeopardy near the end there against Nano Maranello. But Nano Maranello, fifth place after finding the curb in the final corner, a little too haphazard for himself. And Groot also cruising across the line in sixth, Big Mama in seventh, and we lost Evil Dragon early on because the lag was just way too hectic. Okay, right, there should be another stream coming along anytime soon, so if you stick to the YouTube, if you're subscribed to this channel and all of those good things, then there's more epic racing coming your way. I have had an absolute great time. I was your commentator and your broadcaster, Dan Glebors. Thank you for joining us here at AequepaX Racing, and I don't know when the next round is. Oh, no, I'm not looking for it. It'll take too long, and the other stream's got to happen. Big congratulations to all of our competitors. They all did an absolutely amazing job, and thank you to the organisers. And I will see you again in round 7 at Road Atlanta. Happy trials, guys. I'll see you soon. Peace, love, and empathy.